Hey all, 118 Seth Shadow here. So, BCS Georgia is going on right now, and today will be the Shadowverse tournament going on. I don't have the results right now. It's still going on at this point at the time of recording, so that's something that will come later. So, with today's Market Watch in mind, before we start going into a bunch of different singles, one in particular is something that everyone should be aware of when it comes to the next format, particularly because it's going to be Machina with Naturia. And when it comes to Naturia, there's going to be a heavy use of Trail of Light in a lot of different decks, given how the tree engine works. So this is a card that if you don't already have at least a playset of this, it would be a good idea to grab it while it's still available. But between the 4 listings that are currently available and the way the Shadowverse market tends to run, I can't imagine that these will end up being far more than $1 anyway, despite the fact that it's still played rather heavily. Right now, it's still a good opportunity to pick up the promo version that came from a past showdown, which is still at 65 cents and 20 listings. But there's also the Trail of Light alternate art that has come as part of the Shop Challenge tournaments, which should still be running in different regions as we continue to go along the BCS, or it might have just ended with the last season. I'm not too sure how Bushiroad has organized it. But right now, when it comes to that alternate art, it's far above any of the other copies at a base of $5.25 right now, and only 4 listings on the market. The market price on it is currently $6.94, which for an alternate art, and a pretty nice one at that, it's pretty fairly priced in my opinion. And if you do just want to get it cheap, the cheapest one on the market is the Glory Finder one, but in terms of how many that are actually available, let's take a look. When it comes to the Glory Finder one, yeah, the Glory Finder one has 48 cents, but it has a $5 shipping tag, so it's actually not cheap at all. So in terms of actual rarity, the cheapest option is probably going to be the original promo that came out of a showdown. So that's your best bet when it comes to picking this up for its value, for its rarity. Execution has seen a massive downtrend ever since its initial release, where this card went from being a massive staple in almost every deck to not being played at all, if seldomly. The original from set 1 is now as low as 70 cents and over 50 listings, whereas the promo version that you got as part of shop tournaments was now at $2.60 base and a market price of just over $4. There are 2 different variants to pick up from the Glory Finder bundle, which are both $1 right now. But given how cheap the promo version is, I mean, if you can't pay the extra few dollars, just picking up the original from set 1 is perfectly fine as well. There's no alternate arts for this, and only the promo version is foiled. So ultimately, best bang for your buck is still going for the original from set 1. Unleash the Nightmare from set 6. This is a card to watch out for, as it's currently really cheap to pick up, but with vampires getting more support later and a lot of playability come set 9, it's currently 14 cents to pick up, and there hasn't been as much selling of it. Paragons of the Colosseum did come out rather recently, so that does help, and this is a silver, but being a silver does give it the potential to at least rise a bit more. Consolidation is still under 20 cents, so if you do need to pick up some copies of this, it would be a good idea to do so before it begins to rise. The evolved version of Humpty Dumpty, which is only available from set 3 right now as this form, it doesn't have any foils. This is $2 to pick up right now and has only 8 listings on the market. Now, Fable has dropped off quite significantly, and the only deck that really plays Egg anymore is Haven's version of this. The market price is currently about $1, and while it has sold for $2, the volume of sales has been very low ever since the beginning of October. In fact, even throughout August and September, there's been almost no volume of selling this card. and consolidation is around $3. But again, given the card has just fallen out of favor, it's really just, it's got to go down for its volume to really start to pick up. But ultimately, given that Egg might see some play here and there as a potentially decent deck, I'm not too sure what to say otherwise for that one. The Springfest variant of Tin Soldier, which is a promo foil with a hot stamp, is still in the $40 range right now. $43 is currently the base price, but there has been no selling of this card since the beginning of September. Again, with Fable just kind of falling to the wayside, there hasn't been as much interest, so I would anticipate this card will eventually go down, as sellers will have to look to offload this at some point. 43 is the current low listing, and the high is 50. And even with new Fabled support coming with set 7, I think the primary focus of that is going to be in Forestcraft. And down the line, there is a bit more with the new Alice that comes with Seaside Memories, but I don't think that's really affected the Japanese meta in terms of Fable too much. The winning promo for Open 8, Enchanted Dress, which is exclusive to Idolmasters. Currently, the lowest listing on this one is $80, with 3 listings available. We've only seen a few sells of this one, 6 overall, and the market price is currently $54. 80 to 131 for currently available, but since the high sell on this is 66, and Idolmaster is likely to rotate out very soon, or I shouldn't say that. There's no rotation in Shadowverse, but the amount of Idolmaster getting played with set 7 is likely going to drop, which should see a drop of this as well. There's also been a drop on Surefire Bullet after talking about how it increased in price a little while ago, and on top of that, a lot of listings flooded the market on the regular gold. We're back in the $4 range for this card, where the market price is just about $4 or $5 as well. And when it comes to the promo variant, that's also become a little bit more available, but only 3 listings there. 360 and 370 are the base prices. And ultimately, this card does continue to see play over time, so at $3 to $4, it's not a bad price to grab it. The evolved version of Dragon Summoner's promo from Springfest 2024 is currently off the market with no listings at this point. We've seen this card sell from a range of $20 to just around $31 with a market price of $23. Given that Prime Dragon Keeper is still a potential deck, and this card works well in tandem with it, I could easily see this come on the market again at maybe 30 to 40 just for random play here and there, but it's not a bad promo to have, given that it works well with the Dragon Keeper. There's been a slight decrease in the base form of King Elephant, where this had been selling pretty solidly around $4, but we've gotten a lot of listings hitting the market again around $3, and consolidated around $3 as well. Volume on this card's sales have dropped since the beginning of October, with only a few here and there, and since the Forestcraft format tends to lean more towards aggro at this point, it does weaken the premise of using King Elephant at this point. Marwyn has got an interesting thing going right now, where its base legendary has been seeing a buyout, and now the base price on it is about $315. However, we do have the super legendary version just above it at $425, with more listings available on the market at 10 listings to start. And when it comes to the super legendary and the regular of the Evo, they're also about $2 apart right now, where the super legendary starts at $3 and the Evo starts at $1. And if you want the ultimate rare of the Evo, that's still around $27 to pick up, far cry from its market price of $44. So Marwyn is in an interesting position. While I haven't really seen too many players actually play this, it's interesting to see that it's even getting bought as much as it has on the base legendary. Disciple of Usurpation, the foil version of this card, is down to 2 listings right now, and they're currently going for $10. The market price on this one is the number of the beast. And right now, the only listings available are $10, particularly when you count shipping and handling for that second one, which actually puts it to $12 overall. So yeah, this Usurpation is still going to be a pretty efficient engine going forward, and should still see play in decks just for the strength that it's got. Kaede Takagaki. So this is a pretty solid Havencraft support card, particularly for Ward Haven, where the legendary on this one is currently available for around $4 or $5. The thing I wanted to note, though, is that the SP variant is getting an Anastasia treatment, which we talked about before, where the only listing that's available is $1,800. But the market price on this one is $247. So I can't see this one selling at this kind of valuation, given that this card, it's really just all in how popular this card is as an Idolmaster. And I'm not a big fan. I don't really pay attention to Idolmasters at all, so I couldn't really tell you about that on that front. If anyone else has an opinion, though, I'd like to hear that on the chat. And the last card for today is Fumika Sagisawa, which is a really great card to play in Cool Rush, but in addition, it's also viable to play in Dragon in general, just for its ability to pick up certain pieces. This could actually pick up Prime Dragon Keeper as well, given that it's a 3 cost, so it's a viable strategy. And when it comes to its pricing right now, it's $1 to pick up for the regular gold. And if you want the foil variant, that's just over $10 to pick up and only 5 listings. This one also has a promo variant from the tournament packs, which, since it's an alternate art, they also made it into a legendary status, where it's now available for almost $70 and the market price is $52.50. It is a good card, so I'm not too surprised that it sold as high as it did. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.